Hello everybody, today's topic is past perfect. What is the past perfect tense? Verbs have different forms called tenses. The tense of a verb tells us when the action happens. So today we're going to see the past perfect tense. In this lesson we will learn how to form the past perfect tense, how can you use the past perfect tense, and some adverbs used with this tense. Definition. The past perfect tense is used to express something that happened before another action in the past. For example, I noticed that he had left his books. I noticed is the past action, the verb is in simple past, and he had left his books is in past perfect. In this graphic you will see that the past perfect is before the past action, so is the first action. For example, the film has started before we arrived. We arrived at 8:45 and the film started at 8:30. How to form the past perfect tense? It is formed by an auxiliary. For the negative and interrogative form is had, and the third column of the irregular verbs, the past participle. For example, she had cooked. She is the subject, had is the past tense of have, we say it's the auxiliary verb, and cooked is the main verb, is the past participle, is the third column of irregular verbs with finish with ed or d or an irregular verb. In affirmative, we use we use a subject, the auxiliary had, the past of have, and the past participle. For example, I had found, you had seen, he had been, she had closed. Found is the past participle of find. Seen is the past participle of see, and been is the past participle of be. The negative form. In the negative form, the subject goes first, plus the auxiliary had, plus the negative not, plus the past participle. For example, I had not found, you had not seen, he had not been, she had not closed, it had not thought, we had not talked, you had not cleaned, and they had not bought. If we want to contract the negative, we can read this like they hadn't both. For example, you see the negative not has the contraction in the end, and it is read as hadn't. The interrogative form. In the interrogative form, there is a change. The auxiliary goes first, auxiliary, then the subject, and finally the past participle. For example, had I found, had you seen, had he been, had she closed, had it thought, had we talked, had you cleaned, had they bought. How can past perfect tense is used? There are four kinds of use of the past perfect. First, to show time. Second, to report the speech. And third, in third conditional sentence, and after wish. To show time. The past perfect expresses an activity that was completely before another activity or time in the past. For example, when Tom arrived at the bus stop, the bus had already left. What happened first? The bus had already left, and then Tom arrived at the bus stop. The past perfect is used when we talk about two actions happened in the past and one happened earlier than the other. For example, she had read the book before she went to see the film. What did she do first? She read the book, and then she went to the cinema and see the film. Robert hadn't studied English before he went to England. What did Robert do first? He didn't study English. Then he went to England. 2. In reported speech, we use the past perfect in reported speech or indirect speech. In indirect speech, there are a lot of change, reporting verbs, time, words, and tenses. For example, from the simple present to simple past, from the present continuous to past continuous, from the present perfect to past perfect, from the simple past to past perfect, and from the past continuous to past perfect continuous. So we are going to emphasize in the present perfect and simple past. They become in past perfect in the reported speech. Example of reported speech in past perfect. It is not fair. Who did it? Asked John. This sentence is in past, simple past, and goes to past perfect like this. John asked who had done it because Mary said, I have become too old for that. In reported speech, from present perfect to past perfect, we say, Mary said that she had become too old for that meat. The sentence in B is in past present perfect, and in reported speech it changed to a past perfect. In third conditional sentence, we use past perfect with the conditional if, with if conditional clauses. This is the form if clause plus the main clause. The if clause goes in past perfect tense and the main clause goes in perfect conditional. We use the if conditional clause with past perfect to talk about something which could have happened in the past but didn't. For example, if I had known A, I would have done B. The past perfect is in the first sentence. Another example, if I hadn't washed my car, probably would not have rained today. What happened? I washed my car, then it started to rain. If she had eaten her vegetables, her mother would have let her have pudding. So what happened? She didn't eat her vegetables, so she didn't have pudding. After which, we use the past perfect after which to show that we feel sorry because we didn't do something in the past. For example, they wish they had asked their friends to go with them to the cinema so that everyone could enjoy the new movie. So they feel sorry about they didn't ask their friends to go to the cinema with them. Sometimes I wish I hadn't met you. He's sorry to meet her or him. We use also wish with the past perfect to express regret about something in the past. For example, I wish I hadn't woken up from the dead. This is not like I wish I hadn't done that. In this image we see that the kid is crying. Maybe he was punished by his mother for misbehaving. There are some adverbs used with the past perfect. These adverbs are often used with the past perfect tense to emphasize the event which occurred first. They are already, yet, ever, never, and just. Adverbs are like this. First goes the subject, then the auxiliary had, and the past of have, then the adverb just, already, yet, ever, never, and then the past participle. Another example, I saw the color purple last night, so I can say I had never seen the color purple before, or I had never seen it before. Jason had already seen it. It is to emphasize this sentence. Never and already. The preposition by. We often use the past perfect with the preposition by a certain time. For example, by 1966, Oprah Winfrey had decided on a career. Preposition by is used to emphasize some important event in life. For example, in Oprah Winfrey's career, we're going to see a list about what she do from 1954 to 1998. So we can say by 1985, Oprah had already given her first speech because it happened in 1957. By 1971, she hadn't yet gotten her first TV show because it happened in 1973. So we use by to emphasize some events in life, like Oprah Winfrey's career. In conclusion, the past perfect tense is used to show that something happened before a specific time in the past. It always shows a relationship with another past event. The past perfect tense uses the auxiliary had, the past of the verb have, for all subjects. Like as I said, a completed action before another action. I had eaten before she arrived. What happened first? I had eaten, then she arrived. Duration of a completed action. I had waited for 2 hours before he arrived. What happened first? I had waited for 2 hours. This is the duration of the action, 2 hours. Then he arrived. Finally, be careful. In the past perfect is not referring to an action at a specific time. In this example, I had waited for 2 hours. Is the duration of the action, not is the action in a specific time. Then it's not optional. For example, she never saw a bear before she moved to Alaska. It's not correct. She had never seen a bear before she moved to Alaska. This is correct. That's all about the past perfect. So I want your questions about it. Thank you for your attention.